Hello everyone, my name is Marissa and I'm going to do a tutorial today for the Potomac Bead Company. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet that I am calling my Pave the Way bracelet. The reason I'm calling that is because I'm going to be using the check two-hole tiles, which are these square-shaped beads in the middle, and they remind me of pavers. So that's where I got the name from. But this is how it looks. And it's really cute and it's really fast and simple to make. So for this project, you are going to need some check two-hole tiles. And I'm going to use, on this one that I made, that I already have made, it is 7 inches. And I've used 15 for this one. On the one I'm going to make with you today, I'm going to use this beige color or this creamy off-white color. So on the one I'm going to make with you today, I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, so I'm going to use 14 of these check two-hole tiles. So you'll probably need anywhere between 14 to 17 of these two-hole tiles. You also need the DiamonDuos, and the one I'm going to use today are the turquoise Picasso DiamonDuos, and you will need them. There are these beads here that go on the outside. So you will need 2, 4, 6, 8. So on this one I used 28. And since I'm going to be using less of the check two-hole tiles, I will also be using less of these. So probably around 26. So you'll probably need anywhere from 24 to 28 of the DiamonDuos. You will also need seed beads. You will need 15-0, 11-0, and 8-0. So for my 15-0, I'm going to use Miyuki galvanized champagne. For my 11-0s, I'm going to use the Toho, the metallic warm taupe color, and my 11-0s. My 8-0s are also Miyuki, and I'm going to use the dyed salmon silverline. You will also need a fastener of your choice, and I'm going to use one of these lovely table cut buttons for mine. And I'm going to use the opaque rose swirl. So this is how it looks, and I think it'll look really good since I'm going to use these salmon colored beads on my project. You will need 2 needles. This is a 2-needle project, so a size 10 should work. And I've already threaded my needles with 6 feet of wildfire beading thread, 0.006 in white. You will need scissors or something to cut your thread with. I'm going to use the Ultra Thread Zap, and you might also need some flat nose pliers. So go ahead and get your materials together, and then we will get started on our lovely bracelet. Okay, so for our first step, go ahead and have your fastener or your clasp, whatever you're going to clasp your bracelet with. Piles of your 11-0s, your two-hole tiles, and your DiamonDuos ready. So on one needle, I'm going to start with my table cut button. So I'm going to pick up on one needle 3 of my 11-0s, let them drop, and then I'm going to pick up and put each of my needles, one through one hole and one through the other. Just like this. Hold on to your needles and hold on to your button and pull, just to make sure everything's centered. And then on each needle, pick up 2 11-0s, let them drop, and pick up your first two-hole tile. again, hold your tile and pull your threads. Since this is the beginning of your project, you want to make sure that both of your threads have the same amount, both of your needles have the same amount of thread through them. Okay, so this first go round is going to be super simple. I've already put on my clasp, followed by 2 11-0s and then my 2-hole tile. Now from here, it's going to be 11-0 on each needle, diamond duo on each needle, and then an 11-0. So it's 11-0, diamond duo, 11-0, and then our next 2-hole tile. And this is your first step. You're going to do this all the way until you use till you use up all of your check 2-hole tiles. Now, I put on my first diamond duos already. Now from here on out, just make sure that the ones you have, that they are both facing upright. See, with your faceted side up. And from now on, make sure that they all are facing upright just like these. So it's 11-0, diamond duo, 11-0 on one, 11-0. And also make sure you check your holes on all of your multi-hole beads, on your diamond duos and your 2-hole tiles before you get started. Or at least as you're putting them on your needles. And then once I have that, I'm going to put my 2-hole tile. So this is our first step, and this is what we're going to do all the way down until we finish up our 2-hole tiles. And you started with a 2-hole tile, you need to finish this step coming out of a 2-hole tile. Now if you want to make it easier, you can take one needle and just kind of get ahead. And then put on your tile. See, I already did 11-0 diamond duo 2-hole tile. And then I'm going to keep going. And then I'm going to keep going. And then what I will do is catch up with my other needle. See, I have these going. Now on this side, I'm just going to catch up and then sew through, share these 2-hole tiles. Okay, so I've already added all of my check 2-hole tiles and my diamond duos. I have 14 of my 2-hole tiles, and I started with a 2-hole tile, and I'm coming out of a 2-hole tile up here. So just pull. Just make sure everything is nice and tight. Make sure you don't have any thread showing. And right now when you move this around, your diamond duos are going to go everywhere. But just double check them now. Make sure they are all sitting upright. That they're all facing that the faceted side is up on all of them. So I'm coming out, both of my strings are coming out of my last 2-hole tile. I went ahead and I already added a bunch of my little 11-0s to one of my needles. And now I'm just going to go through, coming out of this hole, I'm going to go in through this hole of my 2-hole tile. And I'm just going to test this hole. I'm going to hold both of my strings to keep it tight. And I just want to test this. And if it goes through, but your beads are spreading apart and you can see your thread, then it's too small. So you might just need a couple more. Mine is not doing that, so I'm good. I'm going to stay with this number. So my other thread that's coming out of my tile, I'm going to put through all of these 11-0s. That will put 2 strings through my loop. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Just reinforce this loop. And then I'm going to come out of my tile. And everything just loosened up on me, so I'm just going to hold this tile and I'm going to pull both of my strings. And I'm just going to make sure that I pull this right and I get it nice and tight and with nothing showing. So I might have to fix this off camera. Or I might not. Let's see. I'm working with a lot of thread here, so kind of got it all over the place, but okay. I had my thread tangled in my loop here, so that's why I couldn't get this tightened, but I went ahead and found it, untangled it, and tightened up my bracelet, so it's all good now. There's no more thread showing. And I'm coming out of this tile here. Now I'm going to sew on up on both sides. I'm going to go through this first 11-0, this DiamonDuo, and I'm going to come out this 11-0 right before this two-hole tile. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm coming out of my tile at the very end. I'm going to go through this 11-0, my diamond, two-hole diamond, and that 11-0 right after. So I am in place now to start my second pass. So, and this again is going to be another easy step. You are going to pick up on your needle. You're coming out of this 11-0 on both sides. Coming out of this 11-0 before this tile. Pick up two 15-0s, an 8-0, two 15-0s on both needles. Two 15-0s, an 8-0, and two 15-0s. And go through the next 11-0, DiamonDuo, and come out of the next 11-0 in line. That's right before your next two-hole tile. Do that also on the other side. Coming out of this 11-0, I'm going to pick up two 15-0s, an 8-0, two 15-0s, and I'm going to go through my next 11-0, my DiamonDuo, and come out of my next 11-0 and pull tight. So this is what we have, and again I'm in place to do that again because I'm coming out of these two 11-0s here. So it's 15-0, 15-0, 8-0, 15-0, 15-0, and through my next 11-0, DiamonDuo, come out of the 11-0 after it. And then I'm going to do the other side. Two 15-0s, 8-0, two 15-0s, coming out of this 11-0 here. I'm not going to do anything with my tile. I'm just going to go around it, go through the 11-0 after it, the DiamonDuo, and come out of the next 11-0, the 11-0 right before my check tile, and pull. So again, another very, very easy step. Continue putting your 15-0s with your 8-0s. So it's two 15-0s, 8-0, two 15-0, and going through your next 11-0, DiamonDuo 11-0. Come out of the 11-0 before the tile, and so forth. So go ahead, do this all the way down to your bracelet. When you get to the end of your bracelet, I will show you what to do next. Okay, I've already finished adding all of my beads on the sides here of my tiles, and I'm coming out of my 11-0s here because I've just added these here, gone through that 11-0, the DiamonDuo and the 11-0. So now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this with both needles, I'm going to go up the tile, up the 11-0s after it, up the button, and up that first bead after my button. So through the tile, through the two 11-0s, through your button if you're using one, and through that first seed bead after your button. And then go through this, and then go through the middle seed bead. Since your button is on pretty tight now, you do have to get that first bead after your button. And then now you're going to go down my last button, down these 11-0s, and down the tile. And I'm going to wait there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm coming out of this 11-0. I'm going to go up the tile, up the two seed beads after it, up the button, and up the first bead after that. Going to go through the rest of these buttons. And your bracelet should be feeling pretty stiff now. And then down the rest of these beads coming out of my tile. And now what I'm going to do, both of your needles should be exiting your tile. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to hop on over. I'm coming out of this side. I'm going to hop on over to this side of my tile and go in through that other hole, come out, and I'm going to wait there. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm coming out through this hole. I'm going to hop on over to this side and go up that hole. And don't get your 11-0s after that. So now I'm coming out of my tile like this. So from here, we're going to do this part of our bracelet. So pick up 4 11-0s, 4 11-0s, and go through your DiamonDuo. And do this on both sides. So 4 11-0s, go through my DiamonDuo on that second hole, the outermost hole of your DiamonDuo, the one that we have not used yet. So same thing on this side, and now we're ready to add our outer border. And this step is going to be, when you're coming out of a DiamonDuo, pick up an 11-0, 2 15-0s, pick up your 8-0, and then 2 more 15-0s, and an 11-0, and through your next DiamonDuo like that. So let's do that again. I did it on this side, now I'm going to do it on this side. I'm coming out of my DiamonDuo, pick up an 11-0, 2 15-0s. I'm going to pick up this 8-0, only the 8-0. And then after the 8-0 goes 2 15-0s, an 11-0, and then go through your DiamonDuo, through the outer hole. So that's what you should have. And then let's continue on. And don't get too far ahead on one side. Do a couple and then do the other side. So when I'm coming out of a DiamonDuo, 11-0, 2 15-0s, pick up this 8-0, only the 8-0 here, and then 2 15-0s, and then an 11-0, and then go through my DiamonDuo. Let's do that on the other side. Coming out of my DiamonDuo, 11-0, 2 15-0s, pick up my 8-0 here, pick up 2 15-0s, and then an 11-0, and I'm going to go through my DiamonDuo. So this is your last step, and it is another easy step. So go ahead and do this down the rest of your bracelet, and when you're coming out of your last DiamonDuo here, just do the same thing. Go through, pick up 4 and go in through your tile and down. But I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I added all of my beads on the side, and we just have a couple more things to do. So after I added these here, and I went through that 11-0, the DiamonDuo and the 11-0. No, wait. After I added these here, sorry about that, on the DiamonDuo, and I went through the DiamonDuo and I added these here on the outside, and I went through this DiamonDuo, I added 4, and then I went down my tile, and I'm coming out on this side. Did the same thing on this side. When I added these here on the outside, and I went through my DiamonDuo, I added my 4, and then I went down my tile, so I'm coming out of my tile like this. So I'm just going to take one needle and see how I'm coming out on this side. I'm going to go up this side, and I'm going to try to catch as many 11-0s as I can on the other side, because I'm just going to reinforce my loop one more time. This will put 3 threads in my loop. And as you can tell, my bracelet is pretty stiff, so it's a nice, firm, sturdy bracelet. And I like it because it lays flat. I don't know, I just like when a bracelet lays flat like that on my wrist. I just think it looks very feminine and dressy. Okay, so now I went down all of these 11-0s on this side and down my tile, and once again I'm meeting my threads. So I'm just going to put them inside my project like that, so that I'm coming out in the back, and I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to pull off my needles so I don't cut myself, and now I'm going to tie a knot. And it's pretty easy to tie it like this. Whoop. And I have maybe, oops, when you tie it though, just tie it tight enough, and if it does that to your piece, just kind of straighten it out again. And then tie it again. And then one more time. So I have about maybe 1.5 feet of thread left, and I'm just going to dab that with glue, and then one more time. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it, and I'll burn those down further later. So this is our bracelet. This is the one I just made with you just now, our Pave the Way bracelet. Here's my other one. This is how they look. Very, very different depending on the colors that you use. And this is my lovely clasp. I just love that. And this is how it looks on. I'm not going to tie it because I'm running out of time. But this is how it looks. And it lays flat on the wrist. I really like this, and I hope you do too. So go ahead and, you know, feel free to make some changes, make some modifications, and see what you can come up with, or make it the way I did. So, but here we go. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.